Hello everyone. Today we are going to study a very important chapter of class 10th maths. We are going to study fifth chapter, which is quadratic equations in one variable. Now this is a very important chapter and a very lengthy chapter, and we are going to go exercise wise. First we are going to do exercise 1 till exercise 4. This exercise are of different concepts each. So let me start with the first exercise. So what is quadratic equations? Like we all know what are linear equations. Linear equations means equations in which the highest power of any variable is 1. Let's say x plus 3 is equals to 0. This is a linear equation because the highest power of variable x is 1. And when we say linear equation in two variables, there is x plus y is equals to 10. This is an example of linear equation in two variables. Now why is this called linear equation is because the highest power of the variables is 1, whereas in a quadratic equation the highest power of a variable is 2. That's why it is called as quadratic equation. Now the general format of a quadratic equation is ax square plus bx plus c is equals to 0. This is the general format of the quadratic equation. Now a, b and c are real numbers and x is a variable. Now here what the condition is that a cannot be 0, this cannot be 0, b and c both can be 0, but a should not be 0. This is the format of a quadratic equation. Now when we solve this equation and when we get the value of x, let's say x is equals to 2. Now this 2 is called the solution or the root. This 2 is called the solution or the root of the equation. Now we'll study more about this in exercise 5.4. So let's start with the first question. In the first question we have which of the following are quadratic equations. Now I'm going to explain only the first two sub questions and the rest you can do by yourselves. So in this first one we have 3x minus 2, 2x minus 3, 2x plus 5 and 2x minus 1. So we have to solve this in order to check whether it is a quadratic equation or not. Here we have to just multiply it. I'm going to write proper steps for the first one. So 3x 2x minus 3 minus 2 times 2x minus 3, 2x 2 times 2x minus 1 plus 5 2x minus 1. Now here we have to multiply this, which will give us 6x square minus 9 minus 4x plus 6 is equals to 4x square minus 2x plus 10x minus 5. Now let's take all these all the terms of the on the right side to the left side. So 6x square minus 9 minus 4x plus 6 minus 4x square plus 2x minus 10x plus 5 is equal to 0. Now first we'll take 6x square minus 4x square, which will give us 2x square. Then we'll take minus 4x and plus 2x, which will give us and then minus 10x. So minus 4x and plus 2x is minus 2x, and minus 10x minus 2x is minus 12x, and then we'll take minus 9 plus 6 and plus 5. Now 6 and 5 is 11 and 11 minus 9 is 2. So we'll plus 2 is equal to 0. Now as you can see, this is in the form of ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. So that means this is a quadratic equation. Now in the second one we can just look at it and guess what the answer is. As you can see, the highest power here is 3. So we can directly guess that it is not a quadratic equation because the highest power is 3, not 2. And in a quadratic equation the highest power is always 2, not 3. Now let's come to the next question. In this question they are given that if minus a is a solution of the equation x square plus 3ax plus k is equal to 0, then find k. Now here they have given us a solution, and Remember what I said about the solution. Solution is any value which when we replace it with x, this equation gets satisfied. Now we can just say that here they are given us in the question that x is equals to minus a. This is the solution. Now let's implement this in the answer. And by doing this, we have to find the value of k. Now they have given us x square plus 3ax plus k is equals to 0. Here now we have to insert x is equals to minus a. So minus a whole square plus 3a minus a plus k is equals to 0. Now here you will get a square plus 3a into minus a will be minus 3a square plus k is equals to 0. Now here a square minus 3a square plus k is equals to 0. Now here as you can see the variables are same, so we can actually subtract them. So here 1a square minus 3a square will give you minus 2a square plus k is equals to 0. And when we take this to the other side, we get k is equals to 2a square. Here is our answer. Now here in the fourth question, it is given to us that we have to prove. Show that means prove that. So we have to prove that root 2 and minus 2 root 2 are both the solutions of this quadratic equation. X square plus root 2x minus 4 is equal to 0. Now how are we going to do it? So first we have to prove that root 2 is a solution of this equation. What we will do is we will take this value and insert it in the place of x, and then we will solve the equation, this equation. And if we get 0, that means our left hand side will be equal to the right hand side, which is also 0. So if we get 0 when solving this quadratic equation, then that means that root 2 is actually a solution of this equation. Now same process we have to repeat for minus 2 root 2. So let's try it out. So here let's try with the first one, which is root 2. Now here it is given to us x square plus root 2x minus 4 is equal to 0. And now we have to insert the value of 2, which is x is equal to root 2. So here root 2 square plus root 2 times root 2 minus 4 is equal to 0. Now here square and root gets cancelled, which is 2. And then here notice that it is root 2 times root 2, which indirectly means root 2 square, which means root 2 square, and which again gets cancelled. So 2 plus 2 minus 4 is equal to 0. What does it mean? 2 plus 2 is 4, 4 minus 4 is 0. So we can say that left hand side is equal to right hand side. So here we have proven that LHS is equals to RHS. That means root 2 is a solution of the equation. But let's try with minus 2 root 2. Now here minus 2 root 2. The given equation is x square plus root 2x minus 4. So here we have to solve it. So we have to just put minus 2 root 2 square plus root 2 times minus 2 root 2 minus 4. Now here how will we square it? We have to do it individually. We have to do it like minus square times 2 square times root 2 square. We can do it directly, but just for explanation purpose I am breaking it into proper steps. Now here minus and plus, when we multiply this it will obviously become minus. So minus 2 times root 2 times root 2. I have just rearranged the order. Minus 4. Here minus square is obviously plus, so we don't need to write anything. Here 2 square and here it will get cancelled. 2 square times 2 minus, here you notice root 2 times root 2. What does it mean? Root 2 whole square. So 2 times root 2 square minus 4. Now this again gets cancelled. So we 2 square is 4, 4 2 is 8. 8 minus 2 times 2 minus 4. So 8 minus 4 minus 4. So what does it give us? It gives us 0. So our LHS is equal to RHS. That means that minus 2 root 2 is also a solution of this equation. So we have got this question. Now, this question is a little bit tricky. Now we have been doing the really basic ones. Now we are going to go to a little advanced questions. Now in this question you have that if 2 by 3 and 1 are roots of this quadratic equation mx square plus nx plus 6 is equals to 0, then find m and n. Now here same thing, just above one this there is a little difference which I will tell you later on. So here 2 by 3 and 1 are the roots of both this equation. Now here I will divide this both into 2 so that we can solve these both together. So here let's try with 2 by 3 first. Now mx square plus nx plus 6 is equals to 0. Okay, and here they have given us the value, first value is 2 by 3. So we will take 2 by 3 as x, m into 2 by 3 whole square plus n into 2 by 3 plus 6 is equals to 0. Now when we evaluate this we get m into 4 by 9, we can just remove the brackets, plus n into 2 by 3 plus 6 is equals to 0. Now here we can directly multiply this with this and this with this. We will get 4m by 9 plus 2 plus 2n by 3 plus 6 is equals to 0. Now we have to find the values of m and n. We are going to make their denominators same so that we can actually take this to the right hand side. Now here we have to multiply this by 3 so that we can get 9, and we have to multiply this by 9 by 9 by 9 by 9. So here 4n by 9 plus 3 to the 6, 6n by 9 and plus 9 6 are 54, 54 by 9 equals to 0. Now we can actually add them. 4m plus 6n plus 54 by 9 is equals to 0. Now when we take 9 to the other side, what will happen? 9 will multiply with 0, and we know that anything multiplied by 0 is 0. So you can just conclude that 4m plus 6n plus 54 is equals to 0. Now here what we can actually do is, to make it more simpler, we can divide it by 2. So when we divide the whole equation by 2, let me just write like this, we get it's 2m plus 3n plus 54. 54 divided by 2 is 27. When we divide both sides by, we have to divide both sides by 2. When we divide anything by 0, then we get 0 only. So here when 0 gets divided by anything, we get 0 only. So here we have the equation 2m plus 3n plus 27 is equals to 0. So this is our first equation we get, and we got this equation by solving the solution 2 by 3. Now let's get another equation. Now we will get this other equation by using that second value, which is 1. Now let's do the same thing. Mx square plus nx plus 6 is equals to 0. Okay, and then we are going to put 1 in this place. M1 square plus n1 plus 6 is equals to 0. Here we get m plus n plus 6 is equals to 0. So this is our another equation. So we got second equation. Now we have got two equations. Now you may remember that we had learned this, how to solve simultaneous linear equations in class 9. So I am going to solve this by elimination method, which is a really easy method. Now I am going to add these two together. First of all, we have to multiply this equation by 2 so that we can cancel out this 2m and this m. So here I am going to multiply this by 2 and I'll get 2m plus 2n plus 12 is equals to 0. and I'll also take this to the other side. So, and for here also I'll take this to the other side, and I will get 2m plus 3n is equals to minus 27. And here I'm going to do the same thing. 2m plus 2n is equals to minus 12. Now when taking these both equations, 2m plus 3n is equal to minus 27, 2m plus 2n is equal to minus 12. Now I have to change the signs in order to cancel them. So this will become minus, this will become minus, and this will become plus. So here this get cancelled out, then 3 minus 2n is n, and minus 27 plus 12. When we subtract 27 and minus 27 and add 12, we get minus 50. So we got the value of n is equals to minus 15. Now after this, we all know what we have to do. We have to just substitute this value n is equals to minus 15 in any of the equations. I'm going to take this equation as it is more easier. So 2m plus 2 minus 15 is equals to minus 12. So 2m minus 30 is equals to minus 12. Then 2m is equals to minus 12 plus 30. Now when we subtract 30 and 12, we get 18. So 2m is equals to 18 and m is equals to 9. So we got our values. N is equals to minus 15, m is equals to 9. Okay, now we are going to move towards a more challenging question. In this question, we have to again determine that whether this root 3 and minus root 3 are solutions of this equation or not. So here, what we have to do is first we have to check for root 3. So here I have x square. I'm not going to write it again. I'm just going to write root 3 square minus 3 root 3 times root 3 plus 6. Now here this gets cancelled. We get 3 minus 3 root 3 whole square. Again this gets cancelled, plus 6, and then we get 3 minus 3 times 3, which is 9, plus 6. Now when we when we do this, we get minus 6 plus 6, which is equal to 0. Now let's get to the next value, which is minus 2 root 3. Now I'm just going to divide this again, and here I have minus 2 root 3 whole square minus 3 root 3 times minus 2 root 3 plus 6. Here when I do this calculation, now I'm not going to write all the steps. When I do this calculation, I get 4 times 3 minus 3, and then minus and minus become plus. So plus 3 root 3, or let's say 3 times 2 times root 3 times root 3 plus 6. So here 12 plus 6 3s are 12, 6 3s are 18. So plus 18 plus 6. So here sorry, it should be minus. So here I get 18 minus 18, which is 0. So again, here also LHS is equals to RHS, and here also LHS is equals to RHS. Therefore, we can conclude that root 3 and minus 2 root 3 are solutions of the given equation. Okay. Now let's move on to the next question. Here they have given us as an equation, which is a square x square minus 3abx plus 2b square is equals to 0, and the solutions which they have given us is a by b and b by a. Now let's try and put these values here. Here a square a by b square minus 3ab a by b plus 2b square is equals to 0. Here a square times a square by b square minus 3a minus 3 a square b by b, so it gets cancelled actually. So minus 3 a square and plus 2b square is equal to 0. Now when we multiply this a square and a square, we get a to the power of 4 by b squared minus 3a square plus 2b square. Okay. Now here what we have to do further, now we can clearly see that this we cannot evaluate further, and even if we try to make the denominator b square, still we can just see that we will not get the answer as 0. So we can conclude that LHS is not equal to RHS, therefore A by B is not a solution. Let's try with B by A. Now here we'll do the same thing, A square B by A square and minus 3AB times B by A plus 2B square. Here we are going to multiply, we are going to distribute this to both the variables. So a square times b square by a square minus 3ab times b by a plus 2b square. Here we cannot multiply this, but just see carefully, we can cancel this and this. We get b square minus, and we can cancel a from the numerator and from the denominator. So here we get b square minus 3b square plus 2b square. Now all these terms are all these variables are same, so we can actually add and subtract them. So here minus 3 plus 2 will give you minus 1, and this will give you b square minus b square. You will get nothing, that is 0. So here we can conclude that LHS is equals to RHS. Now here we can say that therefore B by A is a solution of the given equation. We are done with this exercise. In the next video, I will discuss about the next exercise, which is exercise 5.2, and in that exercise we are going to learn how to actually solve this, how to actually get the solution of these equations by using the factorization method. So I hope you enjoyed the video and stay tuned till the end of this playlist. Thank you.